Hi everyone. So in the last video, we were able to read properties from the local application.properties file. In this video, what we'll do is first, we'll start the discovery server. Okay. We stopped this server just to avoid any confusion because last video had nothing to do with discovery server or config server. Okay. So this should start on port 8761. Okay, great. Let's start the config server as well, which we are running on port 8888. Okay, and let's start the two services also, the product service and the inventory service. Okay. By the way, we forgot to do a couple of things. So, okay, if I refresh, still it will show me the same thing. It will take the properties from the local only because we didn't uncomment the dependencies we require for reading the properties from our config repo. Okay, so let's do that for both the services. Let me stop product service. Let's go to the form file. Let's uncomment the three dependencies which we commented in the last video. Okay, let's reload the Maven project to resolve the dependencies. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we are going to add annotations enabled discovery client because we want this service to be a client of the discovery server, and um, enable, I'm just thinking if they require anything else as well. Okay, so we have a discovery server, we have a config server which is registered on that discovery server. Now let's see if now the product service is able to read from the config repo. Okay, config.import. Okay, enabled equal to true, cloud config enabled equal to true. Okay, let's run this service now. Check enabled is equal to false if I give. Let's see if it works now. So as it is working. Okay. 8011 is the port. Um, let's see if it is. Service.info and there. Okay. Guys, to read the properties from the config server, what we have to do is we have to add this particular property. Spring config import is equal to optional config server colon. It will take the property from the default config server. Okay. And we already have the config server being registered with our discovery server. Okay. So what it will do is it will try to get the properties from the application dot properties file in the config server. So let's see if that is happening. Okay, let me run this file quickly. And we had already implemented the annotation for specifying this as the service, sorry, discovery client, and the XML was already updated to include the dependencies. Okay. So now it has updated to port 8001. Guys, so what we wanted to do, we have been able to do. So if you remember in our application.properties, the port was 8001 and service info was global app property file. Okay. So it is basically the properties are getting overwritten from local to this one. Okay. That is why it is running on port 8001 and not port 8011. Okay. So let's see what we get when I give 8001. It should call our root API. And so it gives me this particular message. So it gets the info from the app.properties file in our config repo. Okay. And then okay. And then it also gives the port, okay, which is 8001 in this case. So it had changed to this one. We had already updated that. Okay. So it is giving us the properties from the application.properties file. Okay. Which is there in our config repo. So basically this service has been able to read the properties from the global application.properties file. Now we would have, it would have been great if it could have read it from its specific property file also, but it's not doing that. And I'll tell you why is that. That is because the name of the services are different. So the property file name and the service name need to be same. So if I make this as product dash service, then it should do that. Okay. Okay. So whatever is required to be overwritten, it will get overwritten, and the remaining properties would come from your global application.properties file. Okay. So let's see if that is happening. So now let me um, basically um, rerun this application product service. So we have not gone to inventory service. Both would behave the same way. It's just that we have two services, so we created the two services. But actually, internally, they will behave in the same way. So it has now running on port 8003, guys. Okay, let's just check what we have here. Product service is running on port 8003. Let's quickly check here also. This service contains info about each product running at 8003, which means it has been able to read from product service.properties file in our Git repo. Okay, which is what we wanted to do. Okay. Uh, and same thing would happen for your inventory service also. Let's quickly check that for the inventory service also. The name, let's run the application. Okay, I think uncomment dependencies. Sorry about that. That is why it is not taking the properties from the config server. Let's quickly reload. Let's run it again. It should run on port 8002 now. Okay, 8002. Let's quickly check 8002. So this is a service which contains info about inventory of each product running at 8002. So inventory service is also reading from inventory service.properties file in our config repo. Okay. Now what happens if I change some of the files here and commit them to our Git repo? So let me add one more property on this service dot um, add is equal to. Okay, I'm adding this in application of properties file, and I'm adding this which contains information about inventory of each product. And for product service, this service contains information. Okay, this is what I have updated. Other things remain the same. Now, uh, let's see what happens to both our services. Okay, so it is still giving us the old value. This is also giving us the old value for both inventory and product service. Okay, but if you go to your config server URL, let's see. Okay, I'm sorry, we didn't commit the files. I'm so sorry about that. Let's check this out after commit. Okay, so all the three files have changed. Okay, so now the files have been committed with the new values. Let's quickly check. So old properties, sorry, 800. So, two, it is giving me old value only. Okay, but if I go to config server, let's see what I get. So we have product service which contains information. So we have got the new values, and for application.properties also we added one more property which is which is service category ecom. Okay, so this new property also we have got. Similarly, let's check it out for inventory service also. So we have got for inventory service. So I added this grammar which contains information about inventory of each product. So we have got the new value. And similarly for application.properties also we have got service category is equal to ecom, the new value which I added. Okay. So which means that config server, as you all know, doesn't require any restart. Uh, but as we have seen, the for each microservice, the new properties are not getting updated. So let's see if the properties get updated if I restart these two applications. So let's try that out. We have both these services being restarted. Let's start with the inventory service. So we have got the new value about the service info property. Okay. We have got new value for the product service as well, which means after restart, we are able to get these values. Let's also see uh, if it is able to grab the new property which we added in application.properties file, but that property is not there in product and inventory service files. Okay, so let's quickly check that. Service dot category query. Let's see if it is able to identify that property from the application.properties file. Okay. Okay, 003. Okay, so it is able to get that property as well from the global application.properties file, you know, this one, as we can see. Okay, so this is what I wanted to cover in this video. Now we have been able to read application specific properties from our Git repo, which is great. We'll see how we can have these properties updated in each microservice without restart as well in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Hope you liked the video. Uh, for the code, link is there in the description. And if you need any help in building large scale software solutions or AI automation solutions, you can get on a quick consultation call. Again, link is there in the description. So until next time, uh, like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.